Hello dreamers! This is Maya Joy KahNah, and in today's video we are going to discuss having your North Node in the 6th house of your natal chart. How do you know if your North Node falls in the 6th house? To determine the house of your North Node, you do need to know your birth time, birth date, and birth location. Once you know those things, you can enter them into the calculator below, and then when you have your chart generated, you want to look for the little slice of pie. I like to think of it as pie. Look for the little slice of pie that has the number 6. It's going to be in the bottom right quadrant, right? And then you want to see if it has the symbol there that looks like a horseshoe. And if it does, then you are one of the lucky ones with your North Node in the 6th house. So what does it mean to have your North Node in the 6th house? You are here to experience life on Earth. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, we're all here for that reason. But with your North Node in the 6th house, it's about coming back down to Earth and being a part of society and being a part of daily life and embracing the sort of human responsibilities that we have in this Earth plane. For example, the responsibility to take care of our body, to pay our bills, to clean our house, like things like that. Some of these things that we often think of as mundane aspects of day-to-day life become very important for anybody who has their North Node in the 6th house. But why? Why would that be? Well, if you have your North Node in the 6th house, it means that you are coming from a past lifetime where you did not feel a part of things. You did not feel a part of day-to-day life. And there's a couple sort of scenarios that could have dominated your past life. One of the scenarios is that you could have had a very difficult sort of time with life. You could have had an addiction of some sort, or an illness of some sort, something that meant that in order to survive, you sort of had to disassociate from day-to-day life, and you had to find spirituality or find a higher realm to plug into. So sometimes if you have your North Node in the 6th house, it could mean that you spent most of your past life in a hospital or somehow in hiding. Somehow you were probably confined in some way into a specific house or a specific institution. Sometimes it could mean that you lived out your life in some sort of like religious clergy type of experience, like as a nun or as a priest, where even though you're in the world, you're not really a part of what normal people are experiencing day to day. It could mean that for some reason you were in danger and you had to sort of flee for your safety. Or it could indicate, right, that you really suffered from some sort of alcohol addiction or from some sort of mental illness or something like that, that caused you to live your life in sort of an imaginary kind of world. In the best circumstances, it could indicate that you had a past life where you were very, very gifted spiritually. For example, maybe being some sort of shaman or some sort of artist where your whole life is about sort of connecting with this invisible spiritual world that's all around us. And in order to do that, like to be an amazing musician or an amazing artist or an amazing healer or psychic, then we have to kind of tune out what's around us in the material world, you know, all these things in order to engage with the invisible world. So in your past life, whatever the circumstances, you were very, very engaged with the invisible world that's around us. You probably spent a lot of time in your imagination. You probably spent a lot of time indoors. You probably spent a lot of time by yourself, but surrounded by spirit. For whatever reason, you just did not feel like you were a regular person. You did not feel connected to the pulse of day-to-day life. And whether that was by your own choosing or by someone else's choosing, you weren't able to do the regular things that sort of dominate life on this planet. You weren't able to engage in a normal daily routine. So what does this mean for this lifetime? Well, the first thing it means is that Your focus for success must be on your day-to-day life and being consistent with your day-to-day life and following your North Node energy every single day. I actually have this placement. Now, my North Node is in Pisces, which kind of makes this maybe a little bit more difficult to understand. But for now, I'm going to say North Node in Pisces is about embracing your intuition and trusting in a higher power. So the North Node in Pisces is what makes me psychic. And having the North Node in Pisces fall in the 6th house means it's not just enough to know that I'm psychic and to engage with my psychic abilities from time to time. I need to use them every single day. So whatever your North Node sign is, you must do it every day. You must incorporate that profession or that energy into your daily routine. My angels send me people every day. Even on the weekends, I'm answering emails, I'm giving people my intuitive guidance every day. It's a part of my everyday routine. Work on your purpose every single day. We have a responsibility to do something of service for others in this lifetime. We are really here to serve others. In this lifetime, we've got to come back down to earth and we've got to think of how can I use these amazing gifts that I have in a way that is going to be practical to other people, and that's going to be of service. So if you feel out of alignment and you have this placement, the first question you want to ask yourself is, am I being of service? Am I helping people in a practical way? With this placement, it's not actually about the grand picture, at least not at first. It's not about that big picture form of service. It's not about sitting and meditating and sending out love to the whole planet, although that is a good practice, but it's not about that. It's like, no, how about I go to my neighbor and I bring them some cookies and I tell them, listen, you're loved and you're cared for. That would be the manifestation of that act of love when it's placed in the 6th house. We've got to move out of that realm of vision and thought and daydream and into the realm of action. Our action has to be action in this world. So people with this placement can be really drawn to teachings that tell us, okay, just, you know, match your vibration to what you want to experience and you'll have it. Pray and it will happen. Just pray for the outcome and it will happen. Or sort of things like that where we try to get what we want through kind of intangible means. But with North Node in the 6th house, you've got to think of what's that destiny that you're aiming for. Again, look to your North Node sign in order to find what sort of destiny that's going to be. But then know that you're not just going to get there by thinking about it or praying for it. You're going to get there by taking very targeted actions that are practical in the material world. And that's what's going to lead to your success. So what if you don't know what kind of action steps to take? Then what should you focus on? Well, with North Node in the 6th house, we need to actually focus more than other people on our physical health and on our physical body. And a lot of people that have their North Node in the 6th house will actually find that they may have digestive issues, food sensitivities, they may carry a little bit of extra weight or have lymphatic issues. You may find that you have issues that are related to having too much Pisces energy. Start working on your health. Start working on your nutrition. 6th house is the house of nutrition. It can also be, on the flip side, it can be the house of illness. And so sometimes people who have this placement will actually agree to take on illnesses, like one or more illnesses in this lifetime, in order to force them to work on their health, because you're probably coming from a past life where you either were very sick and never truly got healing, in which case you have to work on your health, or you're coming from a past life where maybe you neglected your health quite a bit, like you were so engaged in your connection to spirit, maybe you were like fasting way too much and you just didn't eat, or could be any number of things, but it is the case that you are destined to achieve a very high degree of health in this lifetime. So if you have this placement and you're very sick, you want to look to actually heal those illnesses in practical ways. So again, people with this placement can be really drawn to like promises of miraculous healing. I believe in miraculous healing, but if this is your North Node, you want to really follow practical strategies. Are you at a healthy weight, for example? Are you exercising? You know, are you drinking enough water? Are you exercising? Are you getting enough sunlight? Are you eating foods from nature? Are you getting enough sleep? Those are the types of things that you want to look for if you have an illness and your North Node falls in the 6th house. And you especially want to look at food. What are you eating? Because 6th house is the house of nutrition. You might want to actually get like a hair mineral analysis to actually see where are you at in terms of your vitamins and minerals. Do you have enough of what you actually need? Because you may not, you know, you really might not, especially with the North Node here. Take those practical steps every single day in order to get your body where it needs to be. Now, if you have a mystery illness with North Node in the 6th house, this could be kind of common. If you have a mystery illness, then you want to look to what is the ruler of your 6th house, which will probably be the sign of your North Node as well. Look into medical astrology, illnesses affiliated with that sign. So if you Google, like, let's say your North Node is in Cancer and it's in the 6th house, you can look at medical astrology plus like illnesses affiliated with the sign of Cancer, and that can give you an idea of what you might actually be dealing with. If you have any other planets that fall in the 6th house as well, then you can look at what those planets represent in terms of diseases. And again, just Google medical astrology plus that planet, and it can give you an idea of what you are actually dealing with. With North Node in the 6th house, one of the things that we are working on in this lifetime is actually having healthy relationships with our coworkers or the people in our office, and earning a very good reputation at work by working hard on a day-to-day basis. It becomes very important to have a routine. And when I say have a routine, I mean a routine like that's written down, posted on your refrigerator. I mean, waking up at the same time every single day, going to bed at the same time every single day, eating meals at specific times every single day, specific times for work, specific times for paperwork that you need to do throughout the week. You've got to have a calendar, you have to have a schedule, and you've got to schedule in the time of all those little things that you need to do in order to achieve the manifestation indicated by the sign of your North Node. Booking the doctor's appointments that we need, getting our taxes in on time, car maintenance, like all those things. And ideally, to tackle these sort of day-to-day responsibilities with joy and happiness, knowing that every time we fulfill one of these little day-to-day tasks, we're actually earning good karma for ourselves. It's really important that we don't try to escape day-to-day life. There can be that karmic habit of trying to escape through, you know, oversleeping, confining ourselves into our home, food or substances or television or anything. Let go of those addictions that we might have and those means of escape. Really, they're not really addictions. They're means of escape. Means of getting away from feeling like a victim. So a lot of people with this placement will actually feel like a victim of life, will feel like life is really hard. Like taking care, like no matter what I do, my body never feels healthy. No matter what I do, I never have enough time, so I'm just gonna give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Like take a practical look at what's going on. Make changes to your day-to-day routine and you will see great results. We do need to manage our time. What you'll actually probably find if you measure it is that you may be spending quite a lot of time thinking about all the different ways that you could fulfill your life's purpose or destiny, but you may not be actually spending a lot of time doing those things. You want to make sure that you're spending more time taking action towards your purpose than you are just thinking about your purpose or trying to just manifest it with energy. North Node in the 6th house can indicate that we have healing abilities that can be unlocked after we heal ourselves. And it can indicate a destiny as a literal healer. For example, as a nutritionist or a doctor or a nurse or even a spiritual healer, depending on the sign that your North Node is in. With North Node in the 6th house, it's very important to set goals and to work to achieve them. If you sort of engage with that type of behavior, Spirit is going to jump in and support you because you're taking action for yourself. With this placement, there can sometimes be issues with fantasy-like thinking or with delusions or with getting confused between imagination and reality. Sometimes people can, with this placement, can really think that they are something that they may have been in a past life, but that they aren't actually right now. So for example, with this placement, you could find that you feel that you are in a true love connection with somebody because you just feel just so connected to them at a heart and soul level, and you dream of that person every single night, and you know that the two of you are in love. In reality, perhaps you met one time at a bar and you've never spoken to each other since, and in reality you're not actually in a relationship with that person, and there may or may not be love between the two of you. You may think that there is. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and that could come in any sort of realm for you in your career life or anything like that. But you want to look at what actually is going on in the earthly plane, and is your dream, is it happening every day? Is it a part of your everyday life? Because if your dream isn't part of your everyday life, then it probably is just a dream, okay? It's probably not real. And with this placement, there's a need to really discern what is real, what is really happening versus what is my creative and imaginatory experience of what is actually happening, and go for what's real. Go for the real relationship. Don't go for your dream lover, okay? The person that you met once but you don't have any interaction with. Go for that coworker that keeps asking you out on a date over and over again. Go for what's real and what's in front of you in your daily reality right now. Sometimes people with this placement can sort of have a victim complex where there could be an actual soul memory of having been victimized in another lifetime or in early childhood, or not being recognized for the amazing person that you are. And so it can create this victim mindset, like, oh, I'm sick, like I can't work, there's no point even trying, like stuff like that. It's really important to let go of any victim energy at all. You are not a victim of anything. You are here in this lifetime to be able to totally let go of that and to help yourself. Some astrologers believe that when the North Node is in the 6th house, that we actually have a service-oriented mission for humanity, where we just have to serve and 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 serve others through our entire life, every single day. You've got to serve for the joy of being of service only. Do it for your personal fulfillment, for the fulfillment of your heart, and not for, you know, the recognition that comes from it, because you agreed in this lifetime to be of service in a very selfless way. Remember that you chose to live on Earth because you wanted to experience what Earth has to offer. You wanted to live in a human body, you wanted to cook your food, you wanted to sleep, you wanted to file paperwork, you wanted to do all these things that we have to do, all these things that are a part of this reality here on Earth. That was your choice. Embrace the fact that you are human and that you are here in this material reality. Go about sort of playing that role of human with a lot of gusto. With North Node in the 6th house, it can actually be very good karma to actually get a pet or a small animal to take care of. Pets, small pets, fall within the scope of the 6th house, whereas the opposite of this, the large animals like elephants or tigers or things like that, they fall in the 12th house. So if you have your North Node in the 6th house, don't get a tiger for a pet. Don't get a tiger. Don't get a huge dog. Get a smaller dog, you know, or a medium-sized dog, and that will really help you to align with your purpose. And finally, with North Node in the 6th house, try your best to follow the rules and to go sort of by the book and to not try to get out of any sort of daily responsibilities. Embrace all the responsibilities that we have in this life. Embrace the things that need to get done. And what you'll find is, yeah, it can be kind of torturous if you sit all day and think about what needs to be done, but if you just get up and you just do it, you'll feel really great, and at the end of the day, you'll be proud of all that you have accomplished. So, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video today. This one was a little bit weird for me to do since this is the house of my North Node and it's really personal, but anyway, I hope you guys have liked it and I hope you've learned from it, and I just want to thank you once again for being a part of my channel and for watching the video, and I just wish you all abundant health and productivity and joyful service for humanity. So thank you again, and namaste.